This one is not the one. Hey there, book people. Welcome to Book Vlogging with Jan. I'm Jan. Now take your favorite fairy tale. Make the characters grown-ups, more or less. Change the setting. Add some of today's technology. Better yet, advance it. Add in a handful of adventure or philosophy, or both, and take that mixture and pour it over a framework of currently pressing issues or society's fears and anxieties. Does that sound like a mixture that you would love to devour? Well, congratulations! You're a science fiction fan. Yay! You may collect your complimentary towels by the door, and most importantly, don't panic. You're among friends here. Personally, I like my science fiction like I like my general fiction, reflective of the complex nature of the human spirits, and written by women. See my previous video for my thoughts on that. Without further ado, these are my top, but by no means only, picks for best science and speculative fiction written by women. The Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler is a near-future novel, which begins in the year 2024, a mere 10 years from today. Its frightening landscape is closer to near-apocalyptic than dystopian, although I can't truly call it either dystopian or apoc fiction. It is both and neither at the same time. Turns out you can't have it both ways. Lauren is a girl who strives to get out of her small, semi-protected community and hopes to survive in the violent outside world through teaching this fearless new faith that she has developed. Earthseed is hope in a dark place without an emotional, all-knowing anthropomorphic God. Lauren knows that change is inevitable, and humans can shape change, and through that shaping, engage with God. Therefore, hope is change. Change is God, and it is the only chance that humans have to take seed among the stars. Butler's story is complexly and delicately crafted to create a sympathetic character. Sympathy itself, in fact, in a harsh world. When asked how she could imagine this horrific near-future Earth, Butler said she took a look at our current issues and took them to the logical extreme, a phrase that is striking in its ambivalence, yet profound in its truth. No one should have any trouble imagining this type of world for themselves. I love Octavia Butler, and I give this one 4.5 out of 5 book people. In The Left Hand of Darkness by Ursula K. Le Guin, the main character, Shelley, is a diplomatic envoy to the frozen planet Winter in order to convince its ruling class to join the Ecumen, a coalition of humanoid worlds. Le Guin imagines a world where the power structures are not built upon gender inequities, and the way to create this world is to create a genderless people. During a brief mating period, the people may become either gender, meaning the individual experience is reflective of the cultural experience. Shelley, a gendered outsider who is distinctly male, has to learn to assess character before gender. He eventually learns to trust Estraven, the only person who supports his mission of universal human unity, and the person he least trusted from the start, due to Estraven's apparent effeminate qualities. The Left Hand of Darkness is widely considered to be part of many subgenres, including feminist science fiction, speculative fiction, and soft science fiction, based on the soft or social sciences. It has won both Hugo and Nebula awards, and Le Guin is one of those talents that just holds a mirror up to our own world. It's also interesting to note that when an anthropologist writes science fiction, you end up with a universe in which humanity creates faster-than-light communication before faster-than-light travel, thus throwing colonialism right out the window. I love it. I give The Left Hand of Darkness 5 out of 5 book people, and I wish I could give it more. You know what? Just give it all of them. Just all the book people. Every last one of them. That's it. No more video. Now, what kind of list would this be if I left off the creator of the genre itself? Who do we have to thank for a literary genre called science fiction? None other than a bored teenage girl trying to impress her future husband, who she stole from another woman. he was married to. Mary Shelley, voted most likely to steal your husband and invent your literary genres. Now, we all know the man plays God tale of Frankenstein, and we all know how it came to be as the result of a ghost story contest among Percy Shelley, Mary Wollstonecraft, Lord Byron, and others. Two burly guys are looking at their new gym instructor. One of them says to the other, "Hey, why'd you hire this scrawny guy?" The other one says, "His card said Dr. Frankenstein, world-class bodybuilder." The text was published originally anonymously in 1818, with a second edition published 5 years later that credited Mary Shelley as the author. The most popular text was published in 1831 and remains the one that's most widely read today, although versions of the 1818 text exist, most notably a 2008 version called The Original Frankenstein that was published by the Bodleian Library in Oxford from Mary's personal papers. Why does Frankenstein's monster love synergy? Because he's more than the sum of his spare parts. The reason why Frankenstein remains so popular today is that it is so strikingly unique. Man, nature, God, monster. Mary stitches these themes together and plays around with interchanging them. What does it mean to be human at all? What makes a man? What makes a monster? Are they born, made, or is it just their deeds that define someone as noble or monstrous? Can they both exist within the same body? Science has only recently mapped the neurons in the human brain. Harvard has a brain archive. These are questions about human nature that we continually ask ourselves when we're faced with public tragedies. Shelley nailed it, and for her insight, I give her... Wait, I don't have any more book people. I gave them all to Ursula K. Le Guin. I'm sorry, Mary Shelley, I gave out all of my book people to Ursula Le Guin. Just kidding. She gets 4.5 out of 5 book people. So why do we read science fiction? Well, the answers are as varied as if you were to ask, why do we read? For me, it's a sense of wonder tempered with familiarity, that ambivalence, that feeling of seemingly two opposing emotions simultaneously that makes me feel human, and that I can have it both ways. Good science fiction holds a mirror up to humanity and speculates on our evolution. Good science fiction, like good fiction, reveals who we are and who we can become. Now, I read a lot of science fiction for this month, and it was very hard for me to choose only 3 titles to feature on the vlog. So at the very end of this video, I am going to put a list of women writers who have written or influenced the science fiction genre. But I'm gonna miss some. I'm gonna miss your favorite. But I want to know who that is, so leave me a comment below, tweet at book people, Instagram your bookshelf, tag everything, Women SF. I want to know who I'm missing so that I can put it into my brain, through my eyeballs, until the future comes up with a less gross way of saying, that's how I read. That's how I read. Thank you for watching. As usual, I don't know where this was going. Bye. Hang on a minute. As you know, at Book People, we are dedicated to bringing you the very finest in the written word, and this month is no exception. All throughout the month of April, our booksellers will be hand-selling our favorite books that haven't gotten the love that we feel they deserve. This is our St. George's Day celebration all month long. At Book People, we celebrate in the Catalonian tradition, and you can Google the rest. My point is, I have chosen to hand sell a collection of short stories called The Moons of Jupiter by Alice Munro. Munro is the winner of the 2013 Nobel Prize for Literature, and she is the undisputed master of the contemporary short story. You can find The Moons of Jupiter and other amazing titles by our discerning booksellers at Book People, Texas's largest and Austin's #1 independent bookstore. Thank you for watching. not even doing anymore.